Ladies and gentlemen, today I stand before you not to speak of disasters, but to illuminate hope. Because even in the midst of the ashes, there lies a spark that can reignite lives, rebuild homes, and restore communities. The fires that have swept through Los Angeles have left an indelible mark on the lives of countless families. Homes have been reduced to rubble, memories to smoke, and yet, amidst this devastation, there is one undeniable truth. We are not powerless. The fires that have swept through Los Angeles are more than just natural disasters. They are profound tragedies that ripple through every layer of life, leaving destruction, despair, and uncertainty in their wake. To truly grasp the gravity of the situation, one must move beyond the distant images of smoke-filled skies and charred landscapes and delve into the human stories that lie at the heart of this calamity. These fires are not mere events that unfold and then fade from memory. They are life-altering occurrences that demand our immediate attention and compassion. Imagine a family that has spent years building a home, its walls filled with memories of birthdays, laughter, and quiet moments of comfort. In a matter of hours, those walls are reduced to ashes. The possessions that told their story, the photo albums, heirlooms, and treasures collected over a lifetime are gone. For many, these losses are not just material, they represent the loss of a sense of identity, stability, and belonging. And this is where making transitions requires adjustments, depictions, photos, and scenes, TV clips, email requests. When a fire consumes a home, it consumes a piece of the person who lived within it. This is the reality for thousands of families who now face the daunting task of starting over from scratch. The destruction extends far beyond homes. Entire neighborhoods are obliterated, leaving communities fractured and vulnerable. Schools, businesses, and places of worship, the anchors of daily life, are often reduced to rubble. Children are left without classrooms, business owners without livelihoods, and families without the familiar spaces that once gave them comfort. These losses disrupt the rhythm of life, creating an atmosphere of uncertainty that can feel insurmountable. The psychological toll is equally significant. Survivors often describe a pervasive sense of loss and disorientation. For many, the trauma of watching their world burn lingers long after the flames have been extinguished. Nights are sleepless, filled with memories of the fire and worries about what the future holds. Parents wrestle with how to explain the devastation to their children while simultaneously grappling with their own fears and doubts. These emotional wounds are invisible but no less real, and they demand our empathy and understanding. The environmental impact of these fires cannot be ignored either. Acres of forests, ecosystems, and wildlife habitats are destroyed, leaving a scar on the landscape that will take years, if not decades, to heal. The air, heavy with smoke and ash, becomes a hazard for residents, especially the elderly, children, and those with pre-existing health conditions for weeks or even months. Communities are left grappling with poor air quality, compounding the challenges they face as they work to rebuild. Equally heartbreaking is the plight of those who were already living on the margins of society before the fire struck. For the most vulnerable, individuals experiencing homelessness, low-income families, and those without insurance, the fires represent an almost insurmountable challenge. These individuals often lack the resources to recover on their own, making them dependent on the generosity of others. Their struggles serve as a stark reminder of the deep inequalities that exist within our society and highlight the urgent need for inclusive and compassionate disaster relief efforts. Yet even as we acknowledge the immense challenges facing these victims, we must also recognize the broader implications of such disasters. Fires of this magnitude are not isolated incidents. They are part of a troubling pattern fueled by climate change and urban development. Rising global temperatures, prolonged droughts, and shifts in weather patterns create the perfect conditions for wildfires to ignite and spread with devastating speed. Los Angeles, with its dense population and proximity to fire-prone areas, is particularly vulnerable, making it clear that this is not just a local issue, it is a global one. Understanding the gravity of the situation also means acknowledging the bravery and sacrifices of those on the front lines. Firefighters risk their lives to battle the flames, often working grueling shifts in dangerous conditions. First responders and volunteers provide critical support, offering aid to evacuees and ensuring that no one is left behind. Their courage and dedication remind us of the resilience and compassion that emerge even in the darkest time. In reflecting on the devastation caused by these fires, we are faced with an undeniable truth. The recovery process is long, complex, and requires collective effort. It is not enough to acknowledge the loss, we must act. Understanding the gravity of the situation is the first step in mobilizing resources, fostering empathy, and committing to meaningful change. These fires have taken so much, but they have also revealed an opportunity to come together as a community, to extend a helping hand to those in need, and to rebuild not just homes, but hope. In this moment, we are called not to turn away, but to confront the enormity of the challenge with courage and compassion. The gravity of the situation is undeniable, but so too is the potential for healing and renewal when we stand united in the face of adversity. In times of disaster, when the weight of tragedy feels overwhelming, the power of collective action emerges as a beacon of hope and a force for change. Alone, individuals might feel small and powerless against the enormity of a crisis, but when people come together, their combined efforts create a ripple effect that can transform even the direst of... Collective action is not just a concept, it is the manifestation of humanity's ability to unite, pool resources, and tackle challenges that no single person could overcome alone. It is through this unity that entire communities are rebuilt, lives are restored, and hope is rekindled. At its core, collective action is the understanding that every contribution, no matter how small, has value when combined with the efforts of others. A single drop of water cannot extinguish a fire, but when combined with countless others, it becomes an unstoppable force. This principle applies to disaster relief in profound ways. A modest financial donation, a few hours of volunteering, or even sharing information about relief efforts may seem like minor gestures on their own. However, when thousands or millions of people make similar contributions, the impact is monumental. It is this pooling of resources and efforts that transforms tragedy into recovery. Consider the stories of communities devastated by disasters like the fires in Los Angeles. Amid the rubble and ashes, there are always stories of people coming together to help one another. Neighbors open their doors to evacuees, offering shelter to those who have lost everything. Volunteers organize supply drives, collecting food, clothing, and essentials to meet the immediate needs of survivors. First responders, medical teams, and countless others step forward, not because they are obligated to, but because they recognize that their actions, when combined with those of others, can make a difference. These acts of collective generosity and solidarity are the building blocks of recovery. One of the most inspiring aspects of collective action is its ability to harness the strengths and skills of individuals to address a wide range of needs. People bring their unique talents and resources to the table, creating a network of support that is both diverse and effective. Some may offer financial assistance, while others provide their time and labor to help rebuild homes and infrastructure. Still, others may use their platforms to raise awareness and advocate for long-term solutions. The power of collective action lies in its ability to draw from the strengths of many, creating a force that is greater than the sum of its parts. Collective action also fosters a sense of belonging and shared purpose. Disasters often leave people feeling isolated and vulnerable, but when individuals come together to support one another, they create a sense of community that can be deeply healing. Survivors of disasters often speak of the comfort they feel when they see their neighbors, friends, and even strangers rallying to help them. This sense of unity not only provides practical assistance, but also reminds people that they are not alone in their struggles. It reinforces the idea that humanity is interconnected and that in times of need, people will stand together. In addition to its immediate impact, collective action has the power to inspire long-term change. When communities unite to address the aftermath of a disaster, they often uncover systemic issues that need to be addressed to prevent future tragedies. Whether it is advocating for stronger environmental protections, pushing for better disaster preparedness, or raising awareness about the effects of climate change, collective action can lead to meaningful reforms that benefit society as a whole. This is particularly important in the context of disasters like the Los Angeles fires, which are exacerbated by broader issues such as climate change and urban development. By working together, communities can drive the changes needed to create a more resilient and sustainable future. The beauty of collective action is that it is not limited by geography, social status, or economic standing. It transcends boundaries, bringing people together from all walks of life to work toward a common goal. Technology has further amplified the reach of collective efforts, enabling people from around the world to contribute to disaster relief efforts. Crowdfunding platforms, social media campaigns, and online volunteer networks have made it easier than ever for individuals to connect and collaborate. This global interconnectedness means that even those who are far removed from the disaster can play a role in helping affected communities recover. Ultimately, the power of collective action lies in its ability to transform despair into hope. It reminds us that even in the face of unimaginable loss, there is strength in unity, and that together we can overcome even the greatest challenges. The fires in Los Angeles have taken much, but they have also revealed the boundless capacity of people to care for one another. By coming together, we can rebuild not just homes and communities, but also the belief that compassion and solidarity are the cornerstones of a better, more resilient world. It is through collective action that we not only respond to disasters, but also reaffirm our shared humanity and our commitment to creating a brighter future. When disaster strikes, the immediate instinct for many is to offer financial donations, a vital and impactful way to help. However, there are countless other ways to contribute that extend beyond monetary support. In times of crisis, such as the devastating fires in Los Angeles, people need more than just money. They need hands-on help, emotional support, and tangible resources to rebuild their lives. Exploring these alternative forms of assistance not only broadens the scope of aid, but also allows individuals from diverse backgrounds to participate meaningfully, even if they are unable to contribute financially. One of the most effective ways to help is through volunteering. Disaster recovery efforts require significant manpower, and volunteers play a crucial role in meeting this need. From assisting at evacuation shelters to distributing food, clothing, and medical supplies, the work of volunteers ensures that essential services reach those who need them most. Volunteers can also help clean up debris, rebuild homes, and restore community spaces. Once the immediate danger has passed, these efforts go a long way in helping affected families regain a sense of normalcy and stability. Volunteering not only provides critical support, but also creates opportunities to connect directly with those in need, offering them a sense of comfort and solidarity. Another powerful way to help is by donating physical goods. Disasters often leave victims without basic necessities such as clothing, hygiene products, blankets, and non-perishable food. Organizing or contributing to donation drives ensures that survivors have access to the essentials they need to get through the early stages of recovery. Beyond immediate needs, items like school supplies for children, tools for rebuilding, and household items can make a significant difference as families work to restore their lives. While it's important to ensure that donations align with the specific needs of the affected community, physical contributions can provide immediate relief to those who have lost everything. Providing temporary housing or transportation is another impactful way to assist. For families displaced by fires, finding a safe place to stay can be one of the most pressing challenges. Offering a spare room in your home, helping connect victims with local shelters, or assisting them in finding longer-term accommodations can be invaluable. Similarly, offering transportation, whether it's helping families evacuate, delivering supplies, or providing rides to medical appointments, addresses a critical need in disaster-stricken areas where mobility is often limited. Emotional and mental health support is equally important in the aftermath of a disaster. Survivors frequently experience trauma, anxiety, and grief, and offering a listening ear or words of encouragement can have a profound impact. If you have expertise in counseling or mental health services, volunteering your time to provide professional support can be life-changing for those struggling to process their experience. Even if you don't have formal training, simply being present and showing compassion can make a world of difference. Acts of kindness and understanding remind survivors that they are not alone and that their well-being matters. Raising awareness and amplifying the voices of those affected is another critical way to help. In the age of social media and digital communication, individuals have the power to reach large audiences and draw attention to disaster relief efforts. Sharing stories, highlighting the needs of victims, and encouraging others to get involved can inspire collective action. By becoming an advocate, you not only help generate additional support, but also ensure that the needs of the affected community remain a priority long after the initial news cycle has passed. For those with specific skills or expertise, offering your talents can be a unique and valuable form of aid. Builders, electricians, and plumbers can help with reconstruction efforts, while medical professionals can provide care to those injured or in need of health services. Teachers can offer tutoring or support for children whose education has been disrupted, and legal professionals can assist families with navigating insurance claims or rebuilding permits. No matter the skill, there is always a way to apply it in service of those in need. Finally, supporting local businesses and organizations in the affected area is an often overlooked form of assistance. Many small businesses suffer significant losses during disasters, and helping them recover is essential to rebuilding the local economy. Purchasing goods or services from these businesses, or even offering to volunteer your time to help them reopen, strengthens the entire community. Additionally, working with local organizations that are already embedded in the area ensures that your efforts are aligned with the specific needs and priorities of the community. Disaster relief requires a multifaceted approach, and financial donations are just one piece of the puzzle. By volunteering, donating goods, providing shelter, offering emotional support, raising awareness, applying specialized skills, or supporting local businesses, individuals can make a meaningful impact in the lives of those affected. These forms of assistance demonstrate that everyone, regardless of financial ability, has something valuable to contribute. In times of crisis, it is the collective effort expressed in diverse and creative ways that truly helps communities recover, rebuild, and thrive. In the aftermath of a disaster, the immediate focus often shifts to practical needs: shelter, food, and supplies. While these tangible forms of aid are undeniably essential, the cornerstone of effective relief efforts is something less material but equally vital: empathy. Empathy, the ability to understand and share the feelings of others, is what transforms relief from a transactional act into a deeply human response. It is what motivates individuals to act with compassion and ensures that the aid provided addresses not only physical needs, but also the emotional and psychological well-being of those affected. Empathy begins with the willingness to imagine yourself in the position of those impacted by disaster. It requires pausing for a moment to consider what it must feel like to lose everything. A home filled with memories, possessions accumulated over a lifetime, and the comforting routines of daily life. Imagine the fear of fleeing with nothing but the clothes on your back, the uncertainty of not knowing where you will sleep, or how you will rebuild what has been lost. This exercise in perspective taking is the foundation of empathy and serves as a powerful motivator for meaningful action. When we approach relief efforts with empathy, we are reminded that behind every statistic is a human story. The numbers often cited in the wake of disasters, homes destroyed, acres burned, lives lost, can make the situation feel abstract or distant. Empathy bridges this gap, transforming statistics into stories of real people with dreams, fears, and struggles. It shifts the focus from how much help is needed to how help can be provided in a way that truly makes a difference. Empathy also ensures that relief efforts are tailored to the specific needs of those affected rather than being driven by assumptions or generic solutions. For example, donating supplies without understanding what survivors actually need can result in waste or inefficiency. A family that has lost their home may need warm clothing, bedding, or baby supplies more urgently than canned goods. By listening to survivors and taking the time to understand their unique circumstances, relief efforts can become more targeted, effective, and respectful. This approach not only provides practical support, but also communicates to survivors that their voices matter, fostering a sense of dignity in the midst of hardship. Moreover, empathy plays a crucial role in addressing the emotional and psychological toll of disaster. The trauma of losing one's home, livelihood, or loved ones leaves scars that are not easily visible but are deeply felt. Survivors often experience anxiety, depression, and feelings of isolation as they grapple with the enormity of their loss. In these moments, empathy becomes a lifeline. A simple gesture, a listening ear, a comforting word, or a hand on a shoulder can provide immense solace. These acts of kindness may seem small, but they have the power to remind survivors that they are not alone, that their pain is seen and acknowledged. For relief workers and volunteers, empathy is also a guide that helps maintain humility and humanity in their efforts. It prevents well-intentioned individuals from becoming detached or overwhelmed by the scale of the disaster. Instead of viewing their role as merely logistical or task-oriented, empathetic helpers see their work as a chance to connect with and support their fellow human beings. This perspective fosters a deeper commitment to the cause and creates an atmosphere of trust and solidarity that is invaluable in the recovery process. Empathy extends beyond immediate relief to long-term recovery. It prompts us to consider the ongoing challenges that survivors face even after the initial crisis has passed. While the headlines may fade, the needs of those affected persist. Rebuilding homes, finding stable employment, and processing the emotional aftermath of the disaster. Empathy reminds us to remain engaged, advocating for policies and resources that ensure sustained support for recovery efforts. It also encourages us to learn from these experiences, pushing for systemic changes that can reduce vulnerability and prevent future disasters. The ripple effect of empathy is profound. When one person acts with empathy, it inspires others to do the same, creating a chain reaction of kindness and support. Entire communities can be transformed by this collective outpouring of care, fostering a sense of resilience and unity that endures long after the disaster itself. Empathy, in this way, is not only a cornerstone of relief, but also a foundation for rebuilding stronger, more compassionate communities. Ultimately, empathy is what makes relief efforts more than just a response to disaster. It makes them a testament to the strength of the human spirit. It reminds us that in times of crisis, what people need most is not just physical aid, but also the reassurance that they are seen, valued, and cared for. Empathy turns charity into solidarity, transforming acts of giving into acts of connection. It is through this connection that survivors find the courage to heal and rebuild, and that we as a society reaffirm our commitment to standing together in the face of adversity. Disasters test the very fabric of communities, pushing individuals and societies to their limits. Yet, in these moments of crisis, something extraordinary often emerges. The resilience of communities and the indomitable strength of the human spirit. It is in the face of loss, uncertainty, and devastation that people discover their capacity to adapt, overcome, and rebuild. Community resilience and the human spirit are intertwined forces that not only help individuals survive disasters, but also enable them to thrive in the aftermath, demonstrating the profound strength that lies within collective effort and shared humanity. Resilience is not merely the ability to endure adversity, it is the capacity to adapt and grow in the face of challenges. When fires ravage homes, floodwaters inundate streets, or earthquakes reduce buildings to rubble, the immediate aftermath can seem insurmountable. People lose more than physical possessions. They lose their sense of security, their routines, and in some cases, their loved ones. Despite this, time and again, communities rise to the occasion. They do so because resilience is not an innate trait. It is cultivated through connection, shared purpose, and the determination to move forward together. The strength of community resilience lies in the relationships that bind people together. In times of crisis, neighbors become allies, strangers become friends, and individuals discover the power of collective action. The bonds of trust and support that are formed in these moments lay the foundation for recovery. For example, when a neighborhood is struck by disaster, people often organize food drives, coordinate rescue efforts, and share resources to meet immediate needs. These acts of solidarity go beyond practical assistance. They reinforce the idea that no one is alone in their struggle. This sense of unity is a cornerstone of resilience, enabling communities to face even the most daunting challenges with courage and determination. One of the most remarkable aspects of community resilience is its ability to inspire hope and renewal. In the face of destruction, people find ways to rebuild, not just what was lost, but also something better. Rebuilding homes, schools, and businesses becomes a shared effort marked by creativity, collaboration, and a forward-looking mindset. Communities often emerge from disasters stronger and more united, having discovered their capacity to adapt and innovate. For instance, neighborhoods affected by fires may incorporate fire-resistant materials into their rebuilding efforts, or towns vulnerable to flooding may develop new infrastructure to reduce future risks. These actions demonstrate how resilience is not about returning to the way things were, but about creating a more sustainable and secure future. Central to this process is the human spirit, a wellspring of hope, courage, and perseverance that drives individuals to keep going even when the odds seem stacked against them. The human spirit is what compels a firefighter to work tirelessly to save lives, a teacher to find ways to continue educating displaced students, or a volunteer to spend countless hours helping strangers rebuild their lives. It is this same spirit that allows survivors to face each new day with determination, even as they navigate grief and loss. The stories of individuals who rise above adversity to help others are testaments to the unyielding strength of the human spirit. Community resilience and the human spirit are also nurtured by the recognition that disasters, while devastating, often bring out the best in people. Acts of kindness and generosity abound in the wake of crises as individuals, organizations, and even distant communities step forward to lend a hand. These acts are not only heartwarming, but also transformative, fostering a sense of global interconnectedness and reminding people of their shared humanity. The outpouring of support during disasters reflects the deep-seated belief that helping others is not just a moral obligation, but also a fundamental aspect of what it means to be human. Moreover, the resilience of communities is amplified by their diversity. People bring different strengths, skills, and perspectives to the table, creating a mosaic of talents that can be harnessed to address complex challenges. A community's ability to draw on its collective resources Whether it's the technical expertise of engineers, the leadership of organizers, or the compassion of caregivers, ensures a more comprehensive and effective recovery. This diversity strengthens the community as a whole, making it more adaptable and better equipped to face future challenges. As communities rebuild, they often discover a renewed sense of purpose and identity. The shared experience of overcoming adversity creates a narrative of resilience that becomes part of the community's fabric. These stories of survival and recovery serve as reminders of the strength and solidarity that carried them through the darkest times. They also inspire future generations, showing them that even in the face of immense challenges, the human spirit and the power of community can prevail. Ultimately, community resilience and the human spirit demonstrate that while disasters may destroy physical structures, they cannot extinguish the bonds of connection or the capacity for hope. Together, these forces enable communities to recover, rebuild, and thrive, proving that even in the face of profound loss, there is always the potential for renewal. The resilience of communities and the strength of the human spirit stand as enduring symbols of humanity's ability to rise, adapt, and create a brighter future, no matter how daunting the present may seem. Kindness is a simple yet profound force, capable of creating a ripple effect that extends far beyond the initial act. In times of crisis, when the weight of disaster seems too great to bear, acts of kindness become lifelines of hope and resilience. A single gesture, whether it's a meal shared, a hand extended, or a word of encouragement, can inspire a cascade of goodwill, touching lives in ways that are often invisible but deeply transformative. The ripple effect of kindness is a testament to the interconnectedness of humanity and the power of compassion to heal and rebuild, even in the face of adversity. The beauty of kindness lies in its ability to transcend boundaries. It requires no special resources, titles, or expertise, only the willingness to act with empathy and generosity. When someone extends kindness, it not only alleviates the immediate need, but also ignites a spark of connection and trust. This spark, in turn, motivates others to pay it forward, spreading positivity and support in all directions. In disaster-stricken areas where despair can feel overwhelming, the ripple effect of kindness creates a countercurrent of hope, reminding people that even in the darkest moments, humanity's capacity for good shines through. For the person receiving kindness, the impact can be life-changing. A survivor of a disaster may feel isolated, helpless, or overwhelmed by loss. In such moments, a small act of care, whether it's a warm meal, a temporary place to stay, or even a simple hug, can provide more than just immediate relief. It can restore their faith in humanity and give them the strength to keep moving forward. The emotional resonance of kindness often stays with people long after the initial act, becoming a source of strength and inspiration as they navigate the challenges ahead. The person extending kindness is also transformed by the experience. Offering help, even in the smallest way, fosters a sense of purpose and connection. It reminds us of our shared humanity and reinforces the idea that every individual has the power to make a difference. This realization often inspires people to do more, creating a chain reaction of giving and compassion. For example, a volunteer who witnesses the gratitude of those they help may be inspired to continue their efforts, encouraging others to join them. In this way, kindness becomes a self-reinforcing cycle, amplifying its impact with each act. The ripple effect of kindness extends far beyond the immediate participants. Witnessing acts of kindness can be just as powerful as experiencing them firsthand. Observers are often moved by the generosity and care they see, inspiring them to contribute in their own ways. In communities affected by disaster, this can take many forms. Neighbors organizing donation drives, strangers coming together to rebuild homes, or businesses offering free services to those in need. Each act, no matter how small, contributes to a collective effort that is far greater than the sum of its parts. Kindness also has the power to transform the broader community. In the wake of a disaster, the bonds formed through acts of care create a sense of unity and resilience. People begin to see themselves not just as individuals, but as part of a larger whole, working together toward a common goal. This sense of interconnectedness strengthens the social fabric, making the community more resilient in the face of future challenges. The lessons learned through kindness, empathy, cooperation, and the importance of supporting one another become part of the community's identity, shaping how it responds to adversity in the future. Moreover, the ripple effect of kindness often extends across time. Acts of generosity and care leave lasting impressions, inspiring those who experience or witness them to carry the same spirit of giving into their own lives. A person who was once a recipient of kindness may later become a source of it, passing on the same compassion they receive. This continuity ensures that the impact of kindness is not confined to a single moment, but becomes a legacy that shapes lives and communities for years to come. In the digital age, the ripple effect of kindness is amplified by technology. Stories of generosity shared on social media can reach millions, inspiring collective action on a global scale. Crowdfunding campaigns, viral challenges, and awareness initiatives often begin with a single act of kindness, but grow into movements that make a tangible difference in the lives of those in this global interconnectedness allows the ripple effect of kindness to transcend physical and cultural boundaries, proving that compassion knows no limits. Ultimately, the ripple effect of kindness demonstrates the extraordinary power of small actions to create meaningful change. In the face of disaster, kindness serves as a reminder that humanity's greatest strength lies in its capacity to care for another. It shows that no act is too small, no gesture too insignificant to make a difference. Each act of kindness sets off a chain reaction, touching countless lives and creating a legacy of hope and resilience. This ripple effect is not just a response to crisis, it is a way of life, a reminder that compassion and connection are the forces that bind us all and a testament to the enduring strength of the human spirit.